Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Please do remember to subscribe, comment, and also share to others. Today we want to take you through two interesting topics. The first one is introducing you to calculations. These calculations are very important because we are going to be using them as we move ahead to do a lot of data analysis, and especially using Excel. We are also going to be using showing you how to create tables. These are the two main area of focus for these lessons. Let's just jump in and start. To begin here, you have on my Excel sheet here, you have addition, you have subtraction, you have multiplication, you have division, you have sum, you have count. These are all simple functions and mathematical calculations. One thing you must note is each time we want to perform a calculation in Excel, we have to use equals to. Take note of that. It's very important. You must start with equals to, okay? Function or any other calculation. So here we want to do two things. We'll be doing cells referencing and a normal calculation. Let me start with a normal calculation, starting with addition. If I go here, I click and I write equals to, like we discussed, and then I say 6, and I press shift and plus, and I press another 6, and I press enter. You see it gives me 12. You see now that's a normal calculation. If I delete this and then I come here and I press another equals to again, and now I want to reference cells. I want to do cells referencing, okay? If I press equals to here and then I want to reference these two cells, this one and this one. If I reference this first cell and then I press shift and I press plus and I reference this other cell and then I press enter, okay? It means anything I put here, if I put 6 and I put another 6 again, you see it gives me this output 12. So each time I change figures here, this output here will change. You see, if I click enter, you see it changes to 8. If I put 10 here, it changes again to 12 here. It will change to 12. You see, it keeps changing because I have referenced these two cells here. Okay, you can reference cells anywhere. Okay, the only difference is that maybe you'll be using different formulas. For instance, if I come under here again, this is subtraction, and I say I want to reference these two cells here, I'll come here and I put equals to, and I come to subtraction and I click here and then I press shift. Now subtraction is just what it is, okay? If I come here and I reference this here and I go to my keyboard and I choose minus is just the sign right to the plus sign, and under the plus sign on your keyboard you have the equals to sign. So by your left, you have the minus sign, okay? And you have to press shift and then you press the minus sign, okay? And then again I reference this other cell and then I press enter. Now if I put 10 here, 10 minus 8 will give me 2. Are you seeing? I have 2 here. If I put 18 here minus 8, it gives me 10. You see, it keeps changing here. I'm just doing simple referencing with formulas, okay? If I come here again and then I want to reference in terms of multiplication, and I come here and I press equals to, as we discussed, you must always start with equals to, and then I come here and I reference this first cell and I press shift and I press multiplication star. Multiplication here is the sign that is above 8 on your keyboard, and to get that sign you have to press shift and then you press 8 and then you get that sign. And then if I come here again and I'm reference this last cell, all I need to do is to press enter. You see, now if I come and I say 2 times 2 is 4, we all know that. You see, it gives me 4 here. So that is it for multiplication. If I come here with division as well and I say okay, I want to reference this division cell, and I come here and I press equals to, again I want my output to come out here, and I come to the first cell and I reference this first cell, and division is just what it is. If you go to your keyboard, there's a key that has comma on, that has question mark. So under that question mark you have a sign that is division. So if I come here and I press shift and I get that division, okay, if I press that division, I just press division, and then I come and reference this other cell and I press enter. You see, it already gives me, it indicates that it shows this because I have not put any figure. If I come here and I put 4 divided by 2 people, of course we'll get 2. You see, I have 2 here, so it gives us that. So sum is closely similar to addition, but sum is unique because here I already have 200 and I have 300. So sum, you don't need to reference that much, you just need to click equals to, and then you write sum. You see, these are different functions in Excel. We have some ifs in else, so we'll be talking about this as we move forward. So if I click equals to here and I write sum, it already indicates here because it has been built in the Excel software. And then I click and I click shift and bracket open. You see, and then now it tells me number 1, number 2. It wants me to reference the cells that I want to sum. So I want to sum 200 and 300. And then when I reference this cell, remember our Excel for beginners, we discussed about mouse. When it changes like this, what it means. So you go back and watch our Excel for beginners if you are not understanding this particular function of this mouse. When your mouse changes like this, it means you want to select. So now that we have selected, and then we have selected these 2 cells, it has appeared in here. Another thing I want you to take note, you see I8 semicolon and colon and J8. It means that this cell is I, this I you see here, 8. Go again, Excel for beginners, we talked about this. This J here, 8. You see, so these are names of cells. This is how it has been built. And then when I finish doing this, I click shift again and bracket close, and I click enter. You see, it gives me 500. I've summed up this and this. And then count is very unique. I click equals to again and I write count. Okay, here I click shift again and bracket open. Here now they want the values. I will still reference, but there's one thing I want you to take note of. If I reference this cell and this cell, it's not going to sum 200 plus 300, which is 500. No, it's going to count just this cell and this cell. Let me show you. If I come here and I reference, because it wants me to reference to put where you find this long sign here. If I click and I reference these 2 cells, okay, and then I click shift and bracket open, and I click enter, you see it gives me 2y. Each time you use count, you are simply counting the cells, okay, but each time you use sum, you are simply summing what is in the cell. You should get that difference. Very, very important and quick. Now when we move to tables, this is our data here. Okay, this is our data here. And one thing I want you to know about tables is that Excel is very sensitive enough to know where your data is. So here we have our data. It starts from this column I right up to column F. So just assume and imagine that you are coordinating organizations. You have organization A to E, and they are doing a project, and they want to reach out to boys and girls. So this organization has done 200 boys, 300 girls, and so on and so forth. So you want to get the total of children. You are working in an NGO, okay, and they have asked you to sum this up and then give them the total here. In order to do this effectively, it's always good to form a table. So if you form a table, I need to click within this range. Okay, if I click out here, it will not form a table. If I click out here, it will not form a table. I come within the data, and I click Ctrl T. You see, so it already shows that area and indicates that this is where my data is, and it wants to form a table there. And they ask me a question: if my data has headers. Yes, my data has headers. That is why I've clicked here. Okay, I click here because I say my data has headers. Organization is header, boys is header, girls is header, total children is header. So I click OK. You see, if I come here to this table where you have organizations, and every organization has reached out to a boy and to boys, girls, and then here we have total children. It's going to be easy for me to do my calculations. So here what I have to do is just click equals to, as we saw earlier on, and then I reference this cell, and then I press shift and plus, and then I reference this other cell, and then I press enter. You see, automatically it gives me all the answers. You see the magic of Excel. But there's something that is missing here. I want to be able to get total boys, total girls, and then total children under here. So what I have to do is just come here, click equals to, and then use the sum. you see, and then shift bracket open, and then I reference this cell from up here right up to down here, and then shift bracket close, and then I press enter. You see it has already given me a total. You see it's already summing up here. If I come here again and I press equals to, and I press sum, okay, and I press shift bracket open, and I reference this cell from up here, okay, and then shift bracket close, and I press enter. You see it already gives me the total of boys and girls. So if your manager asks you how many boys did this organization reach, you just come up here, you get the boys. How many girls did they reach? You come up here, you get the girls. And how many did they reach all total? You come here, you get the total children. If they ask you how many did organization A reach, you said 500 children, 200 boys, 300 girls. If they say how many did organization Z reach, you say 300 children total, 200 boys and 100 girls, and so on and so forth. So this is how we calculate basically in Excel. Hello everyone, this is all about basic calculations and tables. Please do remember to subscribe and share and comment, so we know if you like the videos. We are taking it gradually because we consider that you don't have a background in computer. Not everyone has a background in computer science, because our target is Cameroonians and Africans, so we are really focused on making sure we take it slowly and gradually. Please stay blessed. See you in the other lessons. Thank you.